What's going on, everybody? B. Scott here with
GOD.
And on today's show, we're going to be going to the AFC West.
Yeah.
The last of the Outlook shows, obviously. So, Oakland Raiders added Henry Ruggs in the draft. Marcus Mariota, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Denver Broncos, Drew Lock in another year, Jerry Jeudy, and Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Don't forget the Chargers. First time in the last 15 years they're going to start a quarterback other than Phillip Rivers.
And it might actually work out better for him.
Absolutely. So, and then the Kansas City Chiefs, they're probably a Super Bowl bound either way. So,
yeah.
At the end of the day, this is our predictions of the AFC West. So keep it locked and loaded right here at the First Four Downs.
You know what it is. Drop it.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back. First Four Downs. This is our last Outlook video. You know, our predictions for the final division. And it's the AFC West. So I wouldn't say we left necessarily the best division for last, but obviously you got the Super Bowl champions in there. So
World champions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a ginormous deal also with that. But we'll get to that later.
$500 million man.
Yeah, crazy. $500 million possibly. But we'll get to that later. We're going to start with arguably the bottom team in this division. It's going to be tough because I think a lot of the teams are going to be very close on the bottom.
Yeah.
But we can start with the Oakland Raiders,
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry. Hometown team.
Who knows?
Exactly. So, anyway, we're going to start with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
I got them finishing with 6 wins. I think they added Henry Ruggs. Not a surprise shocker to me.
He's very fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Al Davis, man, he must have called down from heaven.
I'm telling you.
And told him, draft this guy. He runs real fast.
Yeah, not Judy. Not Lamb. Get that fast guy.
Absolutely. The fastest guy in the draft, they're going to take him. So, can he help the offense? I think he can, but he seems more of a gadget type player, I think. I don't think he's going to make a huge impact as a wide receiver, especially down the field. Derek Carr, you already know.
Especially in year one.
Absolutely. So, Derek Carr, he doesn't throw more than 5 yards down the field. You already know that.
Yeah.
Really dinky.
Actually, he averaged around six yards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but they're still going to struggle. They did increase that defense. They sewed up the linebacking core. They bring in Corey Littleton.
Beast.
You know what I mean? The guy from the Chicago Bears.
Kowalski.
I
don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think
close
it's
enough.
Kowalski or something.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, rotational linebacker, definitely.
Violent tackler.
Yeah, very solid player.
Yeah.
So they really struggled on the linebacking core. That helps that. They draft Arnett, cornerback. So they do have an improved football team. Now, is it improved enough to tell me that they're going to be able to compete in this division? No.
No, because you know what? Here's the deal. They were dead last in defense last year. Adding a couple players ain't really going to help you that much. It's going in the right direction, though. So that's what I think about that.
Yeah. So I got them at 6 wins.
Yeah.
They do lose Carl Joseph in the secondary. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Carl Joseph actually is a very solid player. But
yeah, he is.
6 wins in the division. I mean, do you have them any better than that?
No, just looking at the schedule, I mean, it's brutal. It's like 2 years in a row they have like the worst schedule they can possibly think of having. You know what I mean? It's gonna be terrible. You think about it. Going to Las Vegas, you open in a new city, new stadium. You ain't gonna have too much to show for that. You got a lot of good games in prime time, but you ain't gonna win those either. Yeah. You're looking at the offense. Henry Ruggs, they open up the field like you said. We've been saying Tyreek Hill and those Kansas City Chiefs in this division are the prototype, and everybody's drafting according to what they're doing. You know what I mean? So Ruggs, first wide receiver taken off the board, fast as hell. I think he ran 4.2 speed.
Yep.
Beast. But what can he really show in his first year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got another barn burner in Tyrell Williams. What's the mid game gonna be like? You got Darren Waller still there. You got Hunter Renfrow still there. They added Jason Witten too. So what's going on with this team? Maybe you need a new coach. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe this guy's good at commentating now and not really, good at coaching again. But I like what they're doing, going in the direction of improving the football team overall. And then honestly, they have. You look at it before Gruden got there, they were terrible. They tried to really improve it with AB last year, but obviously he had cold feet. So, you know what I'm saying? Literally. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, 6 and 10 is fair.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, you know what? They open the schedule very tough. Carolina's looking like they're only winning the first 6 weeks, in my opinion. So it's going to be a tough road. But we can move on to the next team. And this is a team, honestly, that I think could win some football games. You know, they got a lot of hype. We're going to start with the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
This is definitely a team. You look at Drew Lock last year, 4-1 on the back end as a starter. They had Jerry Jeudy, outstanding talent on the outside to complement Cortland Sutton, who you already seen last year produce. Should break out even better. That's what I'm saying. Noah Fant, he's shown that he can make some plays.
Love that kid.
Tight end position, absolutely. And then in the running back position, you know, you have Phillip Lindsay, who's a viable, solid starting running back. But now you have Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
You know, just to complement it even better. So, on the defense side of the football, they lose Chris Harris Jr. Yes. Yeah. Great slot corner, don't get me wrong. But they bring in A.J. Bouye.
Who was also great.
Yeah, absolutely. You know very, very good on the defensive side. So, then Bradley Chubb should be back.
Yeah.
Von Miller. You know what I mean? So the defense will still be very solid.
And they also got Jarrell Casey.
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah. So I have the Denver Broncos personally going 7-9, something like that. Maybe around 8-8. It's still going to be pretty tough because I think you don't really know the identity of Drew Lock yet.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll just have to wait and see how that works.
I'm just looking at Drew Lock and how he performed last year. And you know what? I'm a Drew Lock believer. I think this guy's the truth. But looking at the schedule, and when you have newly acquired pieces, it takes at least 2 seasons for that all to gel well. I think that they can also honestly be better than 7-9. But looking at that schedule, nah, that's a good floor to put them at 7-9. And you know, that's about it. Are they going to be better than the Chargers? Maybe. Maybe not, because the Chargers got a pretty good defense, which we'll talk about right now. But they're not winning this division. Yeah. Let's be honest, B. Scott.
No, I mean, you already know who's going to win the division. Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs, it's hands down. Yeah. We'll get to them later. So we got them right around the 7-9, 8-8, maybe 500 football team. So we'll turn to the Los Angeles Chargers, right? And this is a team for the first time in the last 15 years that they're going to be starting a quarterback that's not named Phillip Rivers.
Thank God.
So okay, he's a Hall of Fame type quarterback. Absolutely, I mean, he is. He's put in his time. He's done a lot of work. He's had some great players along the way too. Yeah. So, but Tyrod Taylor more than likely will start the season. That's who they're aiming to start. In his tenure with Buffalo, 3 years as a starter, 51 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, very solid numbers. You know, he's ran for 400 and 500 yards in seasons. You know, rushing. I think he can hold it down until Herbert is ready. Yeah. You know, to come in and make some plays. We'll have to wait and see. But the defense.
That's what he does. He holds it down until the rookie
of course.
is ready.
Yeah, he's that quarterback that kind of eases in the rookies. You know what I'm saying? You saw last year with Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Year before with Josh Allen. But anyway, the defense. They add Chris Harris Jr. to complement Casey Hayward on the outside. Derwin James at the safety position. You know what I mean? You bring in Linval Joseph. Yeah. Sign him, Minnesota.
Factor.
Absolutely. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. You know, the defense, honestly, on paper, is ridiculous top to bottom.
Probably the best defense in that division, hands down.
Yes. So on paper, they can get it done. Now, the offensive side of the football, they have the weapons. Mike Williams for the deep threat. Keenan Allen out of the slot. You got Austin Eckler. Hunter Henry, they tagged him. You know what I mean? So the weapons are there. But can Tyrod Taylor really win 10 games, 12 games? We don't know. And that's if he even makes it halfway through the season before Herbert takes over.
Yeah, I think I think he could be successful as a game manager, easily. Another year in the league, another year he gets older, so maybe he doesn't run as much. Yeah. Now they did get Trey Turner in a trade with Russell Holcomb. You know what I'm saying? They did get Brian Beluga, who was with the Green Bay Packers for a long time. So they did actually make moves to beef up that line. Yeah. So you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna run that ball, and for fantasy owners, you might want to be looking at Austin Eckler as the new Ray Rice. I'm telling you, this kid is going to have a lot of production. Yeah,
he's got high potential. Last year, 93 receptions, almost 1,000 receiving.
And with that defense, you know, they're going to be wanting to slow that clock down and, you know, just run it out. I think they'll be a good football team. I think they might be a surprising good football team. They have a lot of easier games. I think they can win those games, honestly. But can they beat the teams that are actually good? Can they actually win those? Go out there and win those games? Yeah. You know, you got a slate where back to back where you're playing the Patriots, and then playing the Falcons. You have to win one of those games right there.
Yes.
To be at least 9-7 or 10-6 consideration.
Yep.
With that extra team in the playoffs this year, the Chargers could easily fit right into that bill. You know what I'm saying? I think, but it just depends on if they can win games. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I personally got them honestly winning a little bit less games than the Denver Broncos. I think they have I think the Denver Broncos have a better chance to win some football games. The Chargers always seem to struggle for some reason. You know, I get it with Phillip Rivers last year, but they always seem to struggle to find a way to win football games.
Well, they don't have a home.
Yeah, I mean, right. You got to remember last year or 2 years ago they lost their first 3 games by a field goal or less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they just don't know how to win games when they matter. So if they can get that done, if they can sew that up, they could easily win 8 to 10 games, somewhere in that range. Absolutely. So winnable games this season. Outside the division, it's pretty easy. You know, so absolutely I got them finishing probably right around the same mark as the Denver Broncos. Plus or minus a lot. I mean, there's so many question marks.
You know what? I say let's give them 8-8.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, we can move to the Super Bowl champions.
World champions.
Absolutely. And the $500 million man, potentially.
My homeboy.
Patrick Mahomes.
There you go.
Right? We got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
On paper, they really didn't do much. Did they need to do much?
No.
They're the champs. They
They're
kept a lot of players.
Yeah.
You know, they lost a couple minor pieces, but nothing serious, nothing drastic. Now, can they get Chris Jones happy enough to play?
That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely, because he's a huge factor. They're trying to tag him and trying to work out a deal. They backed up the truck, dumped all the money on Patrick Mahomes' front yard. So we'll just have to wait and see with the Chris Jones. Huge factor. Last season, he missed 4 games.
Yeah.
And he got hurt in another game. Of those 5 games where he was hurt or missed games, they lost 3 games.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say on the defensive side, that plays a factor. Yep. You know, so Chris Jones is huge.
They got to find a way to get that man his money.
Absolutely. So if that works out, this team is going to win 12 games minimum. You know, it's pretty simple.
They're like Frisco. They're going to be at the top of their division, period.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, of course. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he did get hurt last year.
Yeah.
Kind of a freak accident.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Was crazy.
It's very weird. I'm shocked he came back
and
as
still
early
came
as he
back,
did.
and that's why he deserves the money that he got.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and on top of that, the depth.
Yeah, at every position.
Yeah, the depth that they add Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the draft. Now, fantasy owners, don't get too hyped on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm telling you right now, he's not worth a second-round pick. We said the same thing about Damian Williams last year. It's the same thing with Edwards-Helaire this year.
Yeah.
They took Damian Williams' 5th-year option for a reason. They're going to run him.
They're going to run him into the ground.
You know what I mean? They're going to use him. Now, Edwards-Helaire, I think, could be even better next year. But this year, I don't see his draft being that worthy of that kind of production.
You're not going to stop a well-oiled machine for no reason.
No, absolutely. So, they are so deep, even adding Helaire. McCole Hardman should take a step. That guy's looking
he's
good.
Gonna be a beast.
That's what I'm saying. He looks very, very good.
Yeah.
The potential to take over Tyreek Hill, in the next few years because they won't have to pay him.
Yeah.
Save some cap. Definitely potential there. They retain DeMarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins. They got all the pieces there on offense. The team is the same.
Yeah. Even out of Ricky Seals-Jones, who's always been a great player, like he has the pedigree. You know what I'm saying? He has the athleticism, but he never really shined in Arizona.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not going to shine in Kansas City either because you got Kelsey right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if Kelsey was to have an injury or something like that, they don't lose a step. I don't think. I think Patrick Mahomes makes him a top player.
Of course. So you look at the total offense overall. They got all the depth they need. It's going to be ridiculous. The Chiefs are easily going to win 12 games. Yeah. They're going to walk into the playoffs, and then we'll just have to wait and see. Once you get to the playoffs, you never know what could happen. But especially with everything going on, the fan base and how that's going to play, you never know. But
I still got Kansas City.
Absolutely.
In the Super Bowl.
Of course. Kansas City in the Super Bowl. They're going to win the division. It's without a question.
Yeah.
So, finally,
we're
finished with the outlooks, our predictions for the season for all the NFL teams. So, we're going to be turning our efforts towards fantasy.
Yeah.
So, be looking forward to that. We got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. It's coming out. It's going to be great. So,
Season 2, baby.
Absolutely. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, however you want to follow us. YouTube, of course. That's our platform.
We got you. You know we got the plug.
Absolutely. So it's been B Scott,
G.O.D.
and we out.